Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real.
All right. I took it back. You remember that cat? Mm-hmm. Look, you remember that cat? Loofah.
Yeah.
Loofa. F-A. Loofah. Right. Listen, let's just get started with these hot topics because it's a whole lot going on. All right. Robin Crawford. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
What? That is the girl who allegedly had an affair with Whitney Houston. I don't even know if you would call it an affair or just a total relationship. That was like the best friend. And remember Bobby Brown was saying that they were together.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like denied. No, she's not. She's not having a lesbian affair. Anyway, she got a book out. And her book is called A Song for You. and it's My Life with Whitney Houston.
Okay.
And she's supposed to be coming on Wendy's show on Tuesday.
Only Wendy would have that on that person on her show.
I do have it.
Because it got to be controversial in some way, shape, or form, and it's one of those things that really can't be disputed.
And see, that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, she's been gone for several years now, and then she writes a book, and she's like, what, confessing? I'm trying to understand. What? Right. Nobody's going to contest it.
Nobody can. No one on this earth can.
No one on this earth
above ground can.
So I'm just interested. I'm going to miss it.
I'm going to miss it too.
You going to miss it too?
On purpose.
Oh, man, I got to find somebody that's going to watch it. Maybe I DVR to hear what she got to say. Like, what are we talking about? What do you have to say? I'm not going to purchase a book. I'm not interested in purchasing the book because we kind of like already know the story.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't want to hear the story from her point of view.
You want to hear from whose?
No one's.
No one's? It's over?
Yeah, it's over.
It's done?
It's done.
Just let the... What is she, America's sweetheart? Just
if
let
you
her...
want to dance with somebody, just turn on the radio. It's over. It's done.
Listen.
Let that woman rest.
Speaking of that, I just realized that the song Saving All My Love for You is about her being with a married man.
Huh. Let me think of the words of that. Okay. I can see it.
You got the first stanza?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all that we share. You got your family. They need you there. I tried to resist being last on the list.
Yeah.
Listen.
Saving all my love. Yeah.
I was singing that song.
I wonder if anybody got married to that. Is that somebody's wedding song?
Somebody's wedding song.
I think a person would know better than that. I don't know. That was a sneaky one. But for example, Secret Lovers, if that was your wedding song, then you knew it was up.
You knew it was up off top. Like,
off top.
What?
They're like, well, they should have. They got married. They were secret lovers.
Well, what song did you sing as a child that you didn't realize that you were singing it? Because I'm like, I knew all of them. I was literal singing that song. Ain't nobody say, you shouldn't be singing that.
I was just thinking about this the other day. It was this song, If You Want to Ride the White Horse. If you want to ride.
That's hilarious.
Ride. Oh. You like,
that's,
what?
And listen, what?
You know what I mean? You didn't really,
singing all the words
if I'm not mistaken, they never about heroin.
And you
I
singing
could be wrong, maybe I'm wrong, you know what I mean?
I think you might be right. Guess what I was singing? Knew all the words.
What's that?
Darling Nikki.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My mother ain't say nothing like you shouldn't sing that song. Nothing.
There was another song too.
What's the first words
about
to it?
this.
Do you know the first words to Darling Nikki?
I knew a girl named Nikki.
I guess you could say she was a sex fiend.
Yeah, sex fiend, yeah.
I met her in a hotel lobby masturbating with a magazine. I'm singing that. Yeah. Walking around singing that. That's crazy. Ain't nobody say nothing.
Yeah. There was a song I was just talking about the other day. And I was like, did they realize what he was saying?
They probably did, but nobody was paying attention.
I'm just saying, like, yeah.
That's crazy. When you think about that song, and I'm going to go on to the next topic. So, I'm watching the news, and on the news, they were talking about, now they call it medical marijuana.
Yes.
And ADHD. Now, I have my own theory. We call it weed, okay?
We call it weed.
Weed. With ADHD and tics and all that other stuff. So I was thinking, I said, we didn't have tics like coming up. Like, what's really going on? So then I thought, I said, Mel, what was the difference from then and now? Not everybody. So I'm putting out this disclaimer. I ain't saying everybody's mom and dad was smoking weed. However, you already know. However, there had to be some context somewhere that nobody was ticking. Now folks is ticking. So let me tell you what I did.
All right.
Now that they grown. So I know like a relative that used to smoke weed. She told me, Mel, I smoke on Thursday. I said, I want to see something. So I knew this child that had tics.
Yeah.
So with this child having tics, because since they taking people to court, after 20, 30 years.
20, 30 years.
Let me protect the innocent. So with this child having the tics, I said, here's my theory. This is my thought process. And I said, I'm thinking, being around weed, maybe that kind of like subsided it. Mm-hmm. So the person says, well, Mel, I smoke on Thursdays. I said, okay.
On Thursdays?
On Thursdays, yeah, because they had class.
Well, they was getting ready for the Cosby Show?
I don't know. But they smoke on Thursdays.
Okay, on
so
Thursday.
I'm telling this person about it. So they take their child over, and we kicking it. Guess what? That child didn't have tics for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
So on Thursday, we would go visit this person. Not that this person was smoking. It was just the aroma, I think.
Yeah.
And this was 20 years ago? 19 years ago?
All right.
And it seemed like it cured it. It's like then the child grew up and no more tics or nothing, right? Now, today, I'm watching the news, and they're talking about medical marijuana may be the cure for tics and ADHD to keep people calm. Well, you ain't got no choice but to be calm.
Yeah.
So what you think about that?
Well, I mean, hey,
I should have patented it a long time ago.
It's funny now. I mean, like now it's like, oh, all these particular uses, all these things
that they've been saying a long time. That my boy Snoop was saying forever.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people, like sometimes, not a lot of people. What I would say is like there's people who have conditions and they use drugs or alcohol or whatever, and they say, oh, they self-medicate them. They self-medicate in order to relieve themselves of the symptoms.
Right.
And marijuana drug use at that time would have been considered a self-medication of an issue that a person
of a natural herb.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, the issue now is that you got a lot of people who went to jail, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you got a lot of people who may have actually needed that medicine at that particular time. So we just gotta.
So do they release the people now since they got medical?
They ain't gonna release them.
It's just like, okay, this was the law at that time, and you have to serve that sentence.
I mean, because the thing is that like even though to me, even though it may be legal now, the issue is it wasn't legal then.
Okay.
And then the issue is like, I think some of the issue is like what level of violence was involved with drug trafficking at that particular point in time that made the consequences of selling drugs or the imprisonment, it was the consequence in the amount of time. So I don't see there being any reversal in that. I just think going forth is just going to be like, well, you paid the way. You know what I mean? So there you have it.
That's it. They paved the way they started. They did what they did.
But that's good, though, that it can help people. And people can, use it in the pill form or however else they're going to use it. Especially if you're talking about children, even anybody. I think smoking is not a good thing, no matter what it is. You can't have smoke in your lungs. That's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I'm a non-smoker, so I totally agree. Even though we was talking about medical marijuana.
Yeah.
But like, is it a bad thing? Now, speaking of time, prison time, there was a prisoner who was serving a life sentence. He died. They brought him back. He said he served his life sentence.
I think he may be how does
that work?
He was officially dead?
He was officially dead, and they brought him back.
Yeah.
So, he's fighting it. I want to say he's in Illinois.
I would fight it.
I was like...
by the definition of, if he had a life sentence... Well, I guess the thing is, did he have an order not to resuscitate?
A DNR?
Yeah. I guess he didn't have one, so they resuscitated him anyway.
Yeah, he had to be a full code.
Yeah.
So you think he could get out?
Well, you know what? There was an interesting conversation that I was watching this. I was listening to this article. I was driving, and they were talking about what it is to be dead and brain dead.
Okay.
and they kind of made the argument that if you're able to be revived, then technically you didn't die.
You think that's what they're going to go with?
Yeah,
I think he has a great argument. Things to make you say,
I would argue it.
He is.
He ain't got nothing but time anyway.
Right. He ain't got no.
As well.
Why wouldn't you? He'd be crazy not to.
Yeah.
So that was his life sentence. I died. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for bringing me back. I got a whole new life.
Yeah. I don't know. He can argue it.
Well, he
may not work. I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think it's gonna work?
Well, I mean,
we're gonna watch that, and I'm gonna keep you informed as the story unfolds. He was sentenced to life.
Life in prison.
Life in prison.
And he actually died.
And he died in prison. He wasn't sentenced to death. He was sentenced to life.
And it was 20 years to life?
I don't know all of that information.
I don't know.
We gotta look, but if it says that was his life sentence. This attorney about to get paid. Whoever is gonna fight, about to be popular, they gonna go viral. The internet.
If they win, they may not win.
But I think the attorney's still gonna get paid anyway for representing him. Think about it. Popularity.
Take on the case.
Just to take on the case. Popularity. You know how it is.
What constitutes being dead, and what constitutes me serving my life sentence. And
then they're gonna have to say brain dead is considered dead.
But can they say that he wasn't? I mean, granted, because the argument about being brain dead is that you have no brain functions.
Now that's brain dead. Now death is no heart rate, and we have to administer CPR when you have no heart rate or respirators, no pulse. That's considered being dead. We start CPR. We give you a pulse. Technically, you were dead. Yeah. If we use I call them the jumper cables, the AED machine. Yeah. Boom, we brought you back.
And the thing is, technically, you can be brain dead, but your body functions if you're on a respirator and that sort of thing.
Right. So, what you gonna do?
I don't know.
No pulse is dead.
No pulse is dead. I think he would have to look at what the definition is for serving a life sentence and then challenge that.
Well, I'm interested to find out. I'm going to follow that one. I'm going to follow that one. All right. Speaking of life sentences. Now, we talked about how Ray J, Suge Knight ended up having Ray J over all of his stuff.
Ray J?
Ray J!
How and why?
I don't know why. How is Ray J is making the decisions for him and the business decisions while he's behind bars.
Ray J.
Now, my thoughts are, Ray J kind of small. I think Ray J would be the one there to listen to him.
The interesting thing to me about that, I guess the interesting thing about that is that Ray J has recently been trying to sell wireless headphones.
Ray J trying to make some money.
I've seen a commercial for it.
Then he had the scooters.
Yeah.
He's always trying to reinvent himself, but now he is at the top of Death Row Records. And his new venture is he called President Trump to get a meeting.
To pardon?
Yes! To pardon Suge Knight.
To pardon Suge Knight.
Now, my thing, you already know, with Suge Knight being behind bars, he got the little people out here in the streets. He probably...
How long Suge Knight got?
I think he got a life sentence.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he might die and get resuscitated too. I believe he has like a life sentence. So I don't know, but I'm thinking Ray J probably because he could kind of control him. You figure he could probably hang him over the banister like they did Vanilla Ice. Remember back in the day?
It wouldn't take much to hang him over the banister.
Right. Versus somebody else. Somebody else would be like, "Nah, I'm not doing that, dude. Like, get out of here."
Yeah, but it's like this though. If Ray J was talented enough in the music business, his career would be better.
I think Ray J was talented as far as like R&B.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I personally don't.
Okay, let's say he was.
What's the song?
I forgot the name of the one. The one are jams. I only know one.
All right.
But he's good for finding talent.
Oh, really? Who did he find? Kim Kardashian.
I was going there.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
He's good for noticing talent.
I don't know.
He can find talent. let's call him what are they called? Like talent searchers? What are scouts? He's a good scout. A talent scout.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't see how you put Ray J in charge of a rap label, but whatever.
Right. Interesting. Well, your boy, 45, President Trump, is now doing a rap contest. It's called a MAGA rap. And the winner gets to go to the White House. Did you see that?
Who wants to go to the White House? Send me to send me to Mariaga. Where is it? Mariaga. What's the name of that place? I don't really the place he always go. Don't send me to the White House. Send me down there where you don't get no black people at. Send me to Mariaga.
You crazy. Like, let me be the only one over there.
Let me go to Mariaga, play some rounds of golf, hang out with your daughter.
You are hilarious. That is so freaking funny.
You ain't gonna do none of that, you know.
He's like, stay away from her.
A MAGA
Ivanka.
contest.
Isn't that her name Ivanka?
Yeah, he has another daughter.
I know,
too.
but he don't really talk about her
too
much. I guess remember they were talking about because she was a little thicker.
Yeah.
I talked about that a while back, and he kind of like don't even. But you know what? She probably happy he's not really talking about her. Eric was on The View on what day was that? Wednesday? Oh man, listen.
They ate him up.
Oh man, listen. And then he was going back. He was like, well, you guys are trying to attack my dad. Wait a minute. Listen, it's good. The footage is good. It's on the Facebook, the Shop Talk with Mel page. So look that up. Whoopi was there. Joy was there. Oh, it was good. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
You guys got to see that. That was good. I was like, oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. So this contest. So he's trying to get the black vote. That's what I'm thinking.
Rap contest?
And that's crazy to me. I'm like, most black people that will vote for you, they don't rap. Oh, Kanye, darn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what he needs to do, you want to get the black vote, start to do things that lean towards social justice that can help out people. And that would be, I think that's how you win votes, is that you do the work that people need you to do. He's been in office. He said that he was going to replace Obamacare, which he calls it, instead of Affordable Health Care Act.
Right.
He never did that. All he did was give tax breaks to the rich and nothing that really trickled down to the citizens. I mean, granted, he did have the reform with the sentencing and that sort of thing. And that was good, but that only helps people who got in trouble. If you haven't gotten in trouble, how does it help
me? What about us?
That's what I'm saying. What about me? What about average Joe Black? You know?
Not Joe Cool, Joe Black.
Not even Joe Public. Joe Black Public.
Not even Cup of Joe.
I mean,
like nobody. Joe nothing. Just nothing.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, like, it was a John Q. Public. You know what I'm saying? John Q. Black man. What are the policies that you... Even the people that had voted for him were in hardships. And it's a lot of people. And it hasn't improved the quality of life for people who are struggling in America. He hasn't. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Haitian, Puerto Rican. He hasn't put forth the effort to help with those issues. They're saying, well, the economy is going strong, unemployment is low, but even unemployment is low because there's a lot of people who are no longer able to file for unemployment.
Okay.
You know, and in certain areas is very depressed. There was an article I was listening to the other day when they were talking about that America should invest in its communities. And so we need more spending from DC in order for communities to be prosperous. Increases in education. He hasn't spent more in education at all. He spent less. Why? You know, if that benefits all of us, then spend more in it.
True.
And he hasn't done those things. So until he can do something outside of saying I corrected jail sentences for federal cases, he hasn't really did anything to impact the growth of the middle class or people in poverty. He hasn't. And if I'm wrong, let me know. Hit up Mel's page.
Do that. Like
hit up her page. And she'll tell me, and I'll laugh, and I'll talk about him the next week after.
I do. I'll talk about him then.
I'll talk about him then, because it's true.
All right, now what's this going around? Going around Kanye. Well, speaking of that.
Kanye, y'all.
Kanye saying he want to charge concert prices $50, not concert prices, but $50. Now, this is alleged. This is not factual. This is I can't even remember which media outlet said it. They were saying that he wants to charge $50 to get in when he goes.
All seats?
Right, when he goes and, to sing. He's just popping up, doing a little pop-up, charging $50. Do you think that's really him, or do you think that is the church? The
church in him, or him?
Him or the actual church saying, hey, we could do a cover charge. Because remember that one that had a cover charge at his church because people weren't paying their tithes? That was like about 5 years ago. We talked about that. You probably
Yeah. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. But you know what? I would say if it's going to be what he's doing, $50 would probably be a reasonable ticket to get people in the door. The issue is that, like, okay, if you're talking about really bringing the people to Christ, you can't just do, like you need to do stuff. Not just a concert for one day or anything like that. But if he truly was like, hey, there's 50 communities that I really want to impact. And I really want to say, we want to make sure, we want to uplift, increase God, rise up. And there's places I want to go and do that. I think that you do that in a way to where you really start a campaign for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You make a campaign for like how you want to go about impacting these communities. And paying $50 to see Kanye West may be okay. I don't know. But like some people may want to hear Flashing Lights who pay that $50. And if you ain't, so if you ain't
just an A and B selection,
if it's an A and B selection, like, hey, this is this gospel thing, and I'm trying to do this thing, then I would almost say, especially with his level of wealth, is that maybe the tickets need to be lower.
What about you went to church for the word of God? I didn't even come to see no concert. You decided to pop up. Why do I have to pay for it?
But venues cost money. Venues cost money.
Churches cost money, but people want to put $1 in.
Yeah, I get that. But I kind of feel like this. Like if it was an evangelist that was coming to town and it was going, like if it was some evangelist, they was going to be at the whatever convention center or whatever, people would pay that money to go and see that person. I just think when you make it a level of, okay, we are going to make you pay $100. Now I know he said $50, but when it gets beyond the price of actually what you need to spread the word, and if you want to take a faith offering during that, that's up to you and the people in the place. But if you're trying to say, hey, we want to do this and we want to do it on this scale and we just need enough to have the venue, that's one thing. Because there was a thing where
I didn't ask you to come. I was going to that church anyway, and now you telling me I got to pay?
Well, not the church, but let's say I get a convention center.
Okay, then that's different. But he going to the churches and people are having problems with that.
Well, I mean,
allegedly,
he going to the churches and people having problems with
people are having problems with the fact that you want to charge $50. Mm-hmm. But it's always going to be something. I like what he's doing. Remember, we had our conversation about that and, the different types of music. I like what he's doing. Now, T.I.
Did you listen to any of the songs?
Yeah, I know him.
Did you listen to the Chick-fil-A song?
No, I didn't listen. I didn't listen to that Chick-fil-A. I gotta get it.
He got a song on there that's talking about Chick-fil-A. And I don't know how that was going to go over with some people. But he talks about Chick-fil-A a lot in that song.
Does he?
Yeah.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it before we go off air. I'm gonna play it before we go off air. I'm gonna find it and play it. I'm gonna have somebody find it.
And because when I heard I was riding with my son, I said, is he rapping about Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah.
Well, T.I. went to the church when they went to, I want to say it was New Birth. Don't quote me on it, but I want to say it was New Birth in Atlanta. And T.I. went. And he was saying that, it was because Pastor Jamal Bryant ended up communicating with T.I. afterwards. And I guess he had like a guest speaker. And T.I. said they got there late. And then when they escorted them, and y'all can look and do the work yourselves and see. Look, that I am not making this up. He said that they took him to the front of the church. He said, then they talk about somebody to give out, I want to say like $1,000 or something, or $500. He said, then they started, he said, I felt like they was talking to me, like, since you here, I need you to put this amount in, if you got 1,000.
Like the 50 that he was supposed to pay like everybody else.
No, nobody paid. They're saying that now with that, but this was when he went. This is free of charge when he went down to New Birth. He just popped up. And T.I. was saying how he felt pretty much pimped. Like, okay, you see me coming in and now you want to say, okay, I'm asking for $1,000. I'm asking for $500. Not realizing that they asked for that anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. Different people, they be like, $100 on a $100 blessing.
I remember I got a phone call from these people and they was called my phone randomly praying, like talking about, if this is happening in your life, blah, blah, a whole lot of vague stuff that probably happens to everybody. It's like, wait until after the beat because I have a message for you and you can pay $48 for this message. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? You didn't call my phone and now you want me to pay you $45 for you to, 48 something for you to pray for me? I was like, that's crazy.
They pray, look, Prey. Yeah. Praying on people, because even with my son, he was watching, I guess, I seen the little envelope, I guess this was some holy water or something. Uh-huh. I said, oh, he got God. He got God. I seen it down here. He was like, where's my stuff? I was like, what? I said, oh, I threw that away. Look at me, used to Nick being there. My girl. Yeah. He sat there and went in the trash can and got that out. I can't even remember who it was. Peter Propop or Pop or somebody.
Jeez, and he could have prayed on that water himself.
It probably sit there like, boom, go ahead, fill those up. We sit in it.
Jeez.
Well, since we on T.I. was just on a podcast this week where he was talking about his daughter. His daughter turned 18.
Okay.
And he said, she's a virgin.
Okay.
And he says that he does pop-ups and schedule appointments to have a gynecologist check her hymen to make sure it's still intact.
That's ridiculous.
I was going to ask you how you felt about that.
I think that's insane. I think the thing is that the rest of the world, what we do is that we try to train our kids to have the morals and responsibilities to respect themselves and to make the critical decisions that they need to do in order to have a prosperous life. And you take away the locus of control over someone's life when you say, I want to have you have these annual whatever. I want to make you have these inspections to ensure that you're doing the right thing. It's crazy. I think I wouldn't do that.
Okay, then that's from a male's perspective. I think it's nuts. I think it's a violation. I would feel violated if it were me. And it's like, what? He said after...
It's kind of too far.
That's to the extremes. Yeah. To the extremes. So I don't know if they had like some type of pact or how they have promise rings and all that other stuff. And okay, you could check me. I just think that's... Let me say this. As a female, there are a lot of females who don't even go to the gynecologist until they're pregnant.
Yeah.
So I would hate to have her hymen torn from a speculum, because it can happen
from the check.
The check.
I just think that the whole thing behind it is, and I guess on the show, I'm usually the lone romantic on the whole thing. but I think that even though people, children,
go ahead,
they do things that sometimes we don't want them to do. There's a certain level of beauty and intimacy that's linked to that experience that person has, and sometimes that intimate experience has nothing to do with, oh, you need to be married first, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. It's just something that may happen. And not everybody's first time is beautiful. Okay? I will put that out there.
Okay. How you know?
Well, I'm just saying, because there's circumstances, but then there's things where it's like, okay, agreed upon situations that just didn't turn out the way they thought they were going to turn out. But I would just say that the issue is that, like, I think that that he's. I don't know. I want to say this. I think there's a level of him robbing her of the ability of robbing her of trust.
Okay.
And then robbing her of spontaneity to live her life.
Okay.
Two different things, but I just kind of feel like if like when you're young and impulsive, you do dumb things sometimes, but you can also do things that turn out to be wonderful. I'm not condoning premarital sex or anything like that. I mean, that's what, whatever. Because
abstinence is it.
Everybody can get married now. You can marry whoever you want to marry.
But you.
So the issue is that like.
But you remember that one girl, the one lady. Remember she she had sex prior and then she was abstinent for what was it, 4 years, and then she married that guy and his joint didn't work. So abstinence is the best. However, I think like you said, everybody is allowed to marry everybody. So now you could just go ahead and get married. But that was foul right there.
I just think it's too much. I wouldn't. I have a son, but if I had a daughter, I wouldn't hold her to a different level of like. How is he? Like if he had a son, how would he be checking his son? Would he check his son? Double standard. All the time and all that kind of stuff? I mean,
how can you check?
Would he put a chastity belt on his son? I mean, I'm just saying,
how
would he, if you're policing your daughter on a way that would just be policed, you can only police her based off of her sex. Not off, you would he do that same thing for her son?
Probably not. Now, isn't that like in Africa, don't they circumcise the girls?
Yeah, that's horrible.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. But that circumcision is...
That's for them not to have pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, he checking her hymen, making sure she ain't getting no pleasure. All right, moving right along. What about the nuns? What about the nuns? The nuns? You're like, yeah. The nuns went to Africa. 2 of them came back pregnant. The Catholic Church said that they was going to hold an investigation. What type of investigation are you going to hold, ma'am or sir?
Wait, what happened? The nuns went to Africa and came back pregnant?
2 of them came back pregnant. Okay. Not just 1, 2. They went to Africa.
What investigation needs to be held? Did they consent? Did they have consensual sex? I mean, did they say I had sex or I didn't have sex? What's the...
I don't know, and right now I got all these things going on that I can't even get the internet's slow right now.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to get up on here. Here's the thing. I don't know what it is, and I said, they weren't raped.
Okay.
It didn't say that from what I read, because I was looking to see it. And then I said, well, are they pregnant by the same guy? Or did you wait your turn to be raped? Or what happened?
I mean,
if alleged, I don't want to say that.
I would say the thing is, there could have been a serial raper who raped, whatever,
who raped nuns.
I mean, who knows? I don't know.
And they both came back. Both of them was ovulating.
But I think there is an issue there. Is there an issue? The issue here is that I don't think that God intended for people to be celibate.
Okay.
I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that being celibate makes you more righteous than somebody else. I don't think that you're going to be struck down if you have premarital sex or anything like that or whatever. But I just kind of
you won't be struck down for sampling.
I just kind of feel like there are some things that are linked to people when they say, okay, you can't do this and you can't do that. Well, if God created Adam and Eve, or Eve for Adam, then why would it be a bad thing for people who are practitioners of the faith to have a spouse?
I think you're on to something.
I just don't see why it's a bad thing.
I think you're on to something, and the reason I say that is that's a lot of that little priest, pedophile, little boy type thing wouldn't be going on.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
They wouldn't, and I'm putting that out there because I feel as though they wouldn't have that desire. If God didn't intend for them to have spouses and to have sex, they wouldn't have that desire to be wanting to be bothered with these little kids.
But I don't think the priesthood does that to somebody. I think those people already had those intentions and went into the priesthood. You know what I mean?
But don't the church tell you how abstinence and sex is bad? And
yeah, I understand.
You're going to go to hell. Saying, though, some practices that have you all scared.
But I'm just saying, like, I just don't think, like, why take advantage of a child if you didn't. Like, it's not that these people are being for surveillance. They're not under 24-hour surveillance. Obviously, because if they were, we wouldn't have these atrocities that happen. Mm-hmm. My concern is this, that, like, if that must have already been in you. I'm not going to say that the situation made you do that. You were going to do that regardless of where you were employed. You know, I just kind of feel like the stipulation of I just don't think that a lack of sex is going to make you be a pedophile.
You think it's just in there?
I just think that those people were just pedophiles because they could have just. I mean, hey, they could have left the church and been like, hey, I'm no longer going to be a Catholic priest because I want to get married. If they wanted to get married to a man, if they want to get married to a woman, they could have left there and been a preacher anywhere else, any other denomination.
Point taken.
You know what I'm saying? I know a priest who left the priesthood to get married because he fell in love with someone. He fell in love with a woman and he wanted and he left. You know what I'm saying? So you have the ability to make that decision. And then leaving doesn't mean you condemn that you leaving for love, as I understood it and as I like to believe that my friend made that decision, did not make him less holy, did not make him less liked by God. It was just like, hey, under these particular stipulations, I choose to have the full Garden of Eden that you provided to me.
I choose to eat the apple.
But I choose. You know what I mean? I choose. If they say when a man finds a woman, when he finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Then why should that good thing be removed from those people? And he sought that good thing. So he was, in my opinion, cool. But he knew under the rules of that doctrine, he couldn't do it. But he did. He made the decision. He left there and he did what he had to do.
Okay.
You got a choice. So when those dudes do that to children, they choose to do that to children.
They got their own sick issues and sick mind. Okay.
I'm going to put that on God. I'm putting that on them.
All right, then. I heard that.
You know.
Who responsible? Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Because you know they have that where now they're saying pedophiles, it's a disease. Anyway, that's another show. Let's talk about the Memphis High School where Brandon Allen, 17-year-old boy, is like blowing up the internet.
What did he do?
He was crowned homecoming queen.
Huh. So his peers voted on him to have that title.
Well, he calls himself a queen. This particular school is a neutral gender school.
Wait, you said he was voted on it, right?
Yeah, he voted. But
so
listen, his peers. But here's the thing. This is what they call it because it's a neutral gender school. So now with this whole... Yeah, I know. Oh, man, if we was on TV, you saw his face. Like, what? Huh? Right. We'll go into that a little more deeper in 1 second. So what he won was Royal Court. That's what they called it, Royal Court. And so in his acceptance speech, and the article actually reads like he pretends to be a girl. And he was like, I'm a queen. And he won.
Hold on for a minute.
Yes.
The pretend part.
And it was written, pretend. Instead of identify.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
We're accustomed to identify as.
Yeah.
The article read pretend.
Okay.
So, and I also have that one as well, so you could go to the web and see that article. Do you think that we are going too far with this gender neutral thing? We talked about it before when everything was trying to go gender neutral.
Is that okay? All right.
This whole gender thing.
In this situation, I mean, like, okay, that's the rules they want to make for their high school. He got appointed, elected to the position or whatever. All right.
He won the crown.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Because it's a popularity contest. So the thing is usually it's like the most popular boy, the most popular girl.
Right.
In this case, I mean, well, because there's one.
But is it fair? Because and also they put in there that boys can do things better than girls. That's what the article had on there. So, but here's my thing.
How many people did they have selected?
I didn't even read that far to see how many people were. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it was in the article how many people were on the homecoming court. Well, but we could guess like 5 or 6. But my thing is this.
But how many who is it? Is it 2 ultimate winners or is it 1? Because technically
it's supposed to be 2.
What they said, it should only be 1 person.
Right, royal court, just one person.
Well, I mean,
so maybe it probably was just the one. Maybe it probably was. Because that's what I was thinking.
Just only pick 1.
So
that would be my argument.
So they probably did because he was the only one there. I didn't see anybody else. Because I was thinking, well, who was the queen? If he the queen, well, who's the king?
Yeah. Some people make the argument, they say that the Oscars shouldn't have a best actor and actress category. It should just be best actor.
Well, they separate them.
But it's just
like
man
with
or
sports.
woman.
Just like with sports. Remember we talked about that. Uh-huh. So you have men are physically stronger than females. So why are men racing against females? And that's where I had an issue where you had a transgender female, from a male to a female. Uh-huh. And then she won. That is not right.
Well, in sports equality though, recently was happening. I think it's
the physical makeup. They're stronger, so they're going to win.
Yeah, in Australia, the women are now being paid the same amount as the men for playing soccer.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that people understand that we are still for pay equity.
Okay.
We are for pay equity.
So even though you lost, you still get paid. So the girl in the woman's race, the one that was born a female, she came in second. But the one who was transgender female came in first. I think the winner is the female. How can you put them against each other?
Well, how they try to do it now in the Olympics is they're supposed to
check the testosterone level.
There you go. That's how it's supposed to be.
Sir.
I get the loopholes. I understand there may be loopholes in that whole thing about how much muscle could have been made.
Right. Muscle mass. Come on.
Yeah. It's a thing. It's a...
So if Bruce or Caitlyn was running as Caitlyn and on the Wheaties, I would not say that he wouldn't get the props from me. I'll put it like that.
Caitlyn Jenner had recently turned 60.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Caitlyn. Mm-hmm. Now, see Caitlyn right now, because at 60, he's Caitlyn.
She's Caitlyn.
She's Caitlyn. No, because he said he didn't have intentions on doing the surgery. So he's still a he.
Well, I think he identifies as a woman, right?
Yeah, he identifies as a woman.
So if he identifies as a woman, he is now she.
Now, we were talking about the bathrooms. Remember we were talking about that a few years back when they wanted to do a gender neutral bathroom?
Yeah.
No,
it started in North Carolina.
Oh, did it? Okay, I'm like, I thought it was like our resolution was to just have a separate bathroom if that's what you wanted.
Well, that was one thing they were looking to do because of they felt there were some issues or concerns or whatever about people who identified as opposite of their birth sex going into a bathroom that would be as what they identified as. Now,
see, here's my thing. If you dress like a female, I would just assume that you're a female. I'm not going in the stall with you. Well, why is this even an issue?
I think the issue is that it's not like it's random people going into a bathroom at a mall. This is like, I've gone to school with Cindy. I went to school with in elementary school, I was in school with Cindy.
Okay.
In 8th grade, Cindy now is Gerald. And
what
Gerald
happened to
wants
Cindy?
to come to, well, she doesn't identify as being female anymore. So now Gerald wants to come to the men's bathroom because that's what she identifies as. Since I knew her for those years, the issue becomes: am I going to discriminate on Gerald, who I knew to be Cindy, because they chose to use the bathroom of how they identify versus what they were born as?
Okay, so
I think that's the issue about the bathroom.
Gerald still has a vagina and goes into the male bathroom. So now it becomes a safety issue.
Well, that's what they were saying. That was one of the arguments.
So Gerald need to go on back to the bathroom with the females. You got a vagina.
I think everybody needs to just go to the bathroom and use the bathroom and get out of the bathroom.
That's why I'm saying, why is this an issue? I don't care who's sleeping with who.
I just, you know what? Let's take all the signs off the bathrooms. If you gotta go, find the nearest toilet. Make it happen.
And everybody just find one.
Just find one. Because I tell you like this
segregation is not working.
I was traveling and I was in line and there were some women in line to go use the bathroom, and for some reason the women's bathroom was jammed up. It wasn't like a business line.
I have used the male's bathroom.
And they have used the male's bathroom. But the issue came to me
Why
was
is our bathroom always so packed?
But the thing is, if it's a unisex bathroom, when I say unisex bathroom, like it's only a toilet in the bathroom anyway, and you got two toilets in both bathrooms. Like it's not like there's extra parts that we need. Like why not just say restrooms? Use whatever one is available.
Because people gonna be looking at folks' private areas. Like okay then, but because remember it was a powder room. We go in there. We fixing our pantyhose. We doing. It depends on what we have on. If you got a Doubtfire, instant figures.
But if you're in a situation,
then you need to be in the stall
where it's a single bathroom.
Oh, then
do it matter to put male or female on it?
Well, we had that. Remember that conversation where the guy ended up saying, "I knew you was gonna smell like that." That was a bathroom that had male and female.
Yeah, but that was a whole nother.
No, I'm just saying that was just one bathroom, so everybody used the same bathroom.
But my thing is like, don't even put male and female on there. You got two bathrooms that can only accommodate one person at a time.
So just restroom.
Bathroom, use it. Restroom, use it.
And that's it.
Toilet.
And what's that?
Either it's occupato or it's unoccupato.
Just use it.
That's my Spanish.
Now, Nicki Minaj is being criticized. Not for her booty.
For what now?
Because she said that she gets more support from Caucasians and not her own race. Do you find that to be true or false?
What support is she talking about? Because the support on her level, the only people who, and when you really think about the hierarchy of any industry,
okay,
a lot of those people aren't going to be black anyway. So what's the support she talking about? She's getting support based off of like
a prophet is unknown in his own land. Support.
Yeah, but the thing is like usually the issue is this in any industry is that when minorities make it to the top, they are the outlier. No matter if their talent is the one that's bringing in the main money or not, you are the outlier. And the people that work there who have the day-to-day jobs and all of that other stuff they're white. You know what I mean? So that's the issue there is that if she's making that statement based off of who's around her because of who the industry hires, then she's a fool because the industry hired those people. The issue is how do we have equity in hiring to ensure that she can make that statement based off of true insight off of who's supporting her, who's not.
Well, I wouldn't say
Regardless
that
of
if people are hired, then I wouldn't say those are supporters. I'd say that's hired help.
Well, I don't know how she's identified support.
Do you find when you're trying to do something, who supports you?
I feel like I'm
you all alone? By yourself?
Wanna be
all alone? I'm all alone.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think it's a combination of people who share a kindred spirit with you, who will help you achieve a dream if they believe in your dream and your drive to achieve it. So it can be a combination of people. But the funny part is that did she make those same comments when the only people who knew of her music were black people who was buying it because she was on somebody else's album?
She was with Lil Wayne in them, and then it was like, here you go, and then she ended up elevating, I guess, and that kind of Just did it.
Yeah. That would be my thing.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Here goes something for you.
All right.
Taking it back. Michael Jackson.
All the way back.
All the way back.
Matter of fact, I was listening to Don't Be Afraid. Have you listened to the lyrics on that song? Jeez. My goodness.
You know, I was wondering, if you keep on, because the force has got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like, it makes me feel like, just rising up.
songs back then.
Right.
They used to go, didn't they? No wonder everybody was so thin.
Yeah. Instead of having 2.5 minutes, you had like 5-minute song, yo.
That one was like 6.
Yeah, hey.
Like, long.
Stop until you get enough.
Well, see, you know what, though? You had enough time to look, but like, okay, this is my song. Let me look across the floor. Okay, yeah, I want to dance. I need you to go over there and tell them I want to dance. Go out to the dance floor, dance a little bit, talk a little bit, and then go back. Now, soon as the beat drop, you better be like, you want to dance? Up. As soon as you get to the dance floor, you be like, it's over.
You right.
What we gonna do? We're gonna write the people and tell them we need longer LPs?
Gotta loop the song. Gotta loop it.
Loop it?
Gotta loop it.
Like the line dance songs.
Hey, all my line dancers, all my line dancers.
Where are my line dancers at? Look, now I gotta put it on. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna find one. So I can end the show and let somebody do the Cupid Shuffle.
Jeez.
Cleveland Shuffle. Well, which one?
Shuffles.
Somebody Shuffle.
Maybe the Cleveland Shuffle. That don't get enough play as it should.
Detroit Hustle. Remember that?
Trans Euro Express.
What's the very first line dance?
Euro
Express.
Oh, what's the first line dance? You asking me?
Yes.
Either the Hokey Pokey or the Chicken Dance.
Which one is older, the Hokey Pokey or the Chicken Dance?
I don't know.
I think the Hokey Pokey. Okay.
The Hokey Pokey.
What's the adult line dance?
The Hustle.
Hey! And then the YMCA. They've been doing it a long time.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I would declare older than that? I don't know.
There isn't any, is it?
Not that I know of. Not that I can think of right now.
Just like when we talked about the electric slide.
Mm-hmm.
About a vibrator. Remember? You remember that show?
Yeah.
The electric slide is all about a vibrator. I'm like, oh, the cookhouse is not going to be the same.
I gotta listen. I won't listen.
When you see Aunt Lucy.
Because I'm trying to think of the part where they're like, when the guy be like, because the lady like, you can't, what she say? What did she say? You can't
use it.
It's electric.
You can't use it. But I guess he can. The way things going. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie. What's the other part? What's the other main? I had it at the time, and I was.
I can't think of.
I can't hear brain fart. Hey, listen, talk about support. What we were talking about before we went on break. Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Bad Boys 3 is using it. They'll be filming there at the same time as Coming to America 2.
All right.
You excited?
Kinda.
Sorta.
Kinda. I seen the preview.
Hey, Roogle, what's happening in the movie world?
Everything and nothing at all. But this is what's going on. Harriet.
I love this show.
Harriet was released, and Harriet has had mixed reviews. However, It's made $12 million on its opening weekend, which is really good. I have yet to see the movie, but I do want to see it.
It's not playing in our area, is it?
It was on the south side.
Okay.
On
what, Uptown?
No, Uptown.
I'm like, what you talking about? Newport Theater? Like where? On the south side. There's a theater on the south side? Oh, okay.
It was playing at not Tinseltown, the other one. Regal Cinema.
Okay.
And then there's did you happen to see My Name is Dolomite?
No, but I heard about it.
It was a very nice biopic. Not really great. I didn't think it was really great, but it really was inspirational in the sense of saying like, hey, if you had a dream, no matter how people, because they would tell him like, hey, you a little fatter than people would be that we really work with. You this, you that, and he was like, he came up, he kept moving, he kept doing that. So it's a nice little inspirational thing there. I thought it was cool for what it was, and I would give it I'd give it a B minus.
A B minus. Okay, so that's not bad.
But it was fine. I mean, it was okay. It was this sort of it was interesting to see the journey of Rudy Ray Moore going through the issues he had to go through to fight for his dream.
Okay.
And I thought that was really cool.
So you would recommend?
I recommend watching it. Yeah.
Okay.
I recommend watching it, definitely. Because especially the part where he gets Queen Bee. I think that part to me was a really impactful, inspirational thing about how people can see the gold in you, and you may not be able to see it because of the circumstances around you. But if you're willing to take a leap of faith, it can work out wonderfully for you.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
I thought it was.
Okay.
It was a Negro Hallmark movie. It was really nice. I thought it was really. I mean, for what it was and how it inspired me. I thought the inspiration level on it is an A. The overall thing of it was a B minus, in my opinion. But it's worth a watch. It may be even worth a second watch because there is some nice
library or no for House Library.
On Netflix.
House Library, the movie. What you think?
Maybe.
That's not convincing.
Maybe.
What else you got?
I'm never buying no movies ever again.
Why?
Because there's ways around that.
Now you found ways around it. He
There's
like,
ways
no.
around that. Plus, every platform you buy now, if you buy Netflix, if you buy Disney Plus, they're going to have to upload and keep all this content up there for you to be able to see it. Is this you're just sort of renting the movie for the moment? So I mean, it's good. I would recommend watching it, especially if you feel like every time you try to do something, you get a door closed in your face. This is that movie that says try that next thing, no matter how ridiculous somebody else thinks it is.
Oh, sounds like my be inspired. Take the leap. Go for it.
Take that leap.
Okay.
That leap.
Must be in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Got to be. Wow. You got to be something else. There's nothing else going on in the movie world? I'm shocked.
I mean, there's, oh yeah. Actually, I pulled up something to talk about. Now, you have put me on the spot.
Yes.
Almost forgot. Watchmen.
There we go.
Watchmen on HBO is a series that is a continuation of the graphic comic. I truly like this series. It stars Regina King as a character called Sister Knight. She is fantastic in this movie. And in this series, like everything, there's nothing about this series I don't like. And if you like The Watchmen, and you truly just don't like it for not the issue of the heroes or the fighting or none of that stuff, but the social commentary of it, this is, to me, it's a great extension from that original graphic comic. Granted, the person who wrote the book he likes no rendition of his work.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't like any rendition of his work. Because he made a masterpiece.
Okay.
He did. When he made the Watchmen graphic novel, he made a masterpiece. I think, but my thoughts are, I think people will like this. It talks about in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a massacre that happened in 1921.
Okay.
Basically a massacre of black people. It was called Black Wall Street. Was this area where black people were thriving. They had a community thriving in 1921. That something happened that sparked the white people in that area to totally massacre and destroy this black community. Sort of like Rosewood. It's not an unfamiliar thing, but it's one of those things that we don't talk about. Well, that American history chooses to ignore. I'll say that. So the focal point of that series comes from that real life event. And it's done in a way where it's respectful of the past and true to this alternative future that it creates in this environment. So I really enjoyed the Watchmen piece there. I thought it was great. I think people will enjoy it. Some of the hitbacks that's coming back from it, people are saying, well, it seems like it's some social justice crap. The issue with that is that these are people who aren't for social justice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there's another thing that's going on. There's a movie on Netflix called Lionheart.
Okay.
Lionheart tried to be submitted to be an Oscar nod for a foreign film.
Okay.
What ended up happening was the Oscars rejected the Nigerian film. You know why?
No. Tell us, please.
Because only 12 minutes of this film that is 95 minutes is in a foreign language. So they changed the category from foreign language to... What did they change it to? Now I feel like
So only 12 minutes was in a foreign language, so that's why it was kicked back.
Said, because the rest of it is in English, right?
Okay.
But the issue that
But the category is foreign?
The category is foreign film, but they changed the category's name. The category is called It's called Oscar. It's called international film, I guess now is what they call it instead of foreign film.
Okay.
Foreign language film was what they used to call it. They changed the title, but they didn't change the requirement. And the requirement was that a majority of the movie had to be spoken in that foreign tongue.
Okay.
And so the issue with this movie is that the issue with this movie is that 12 minutes of it is only in the foreign tongue. The rest of it is English. The issue is that Nigeria's national language is English. And my wife is Nigerian. We had a conversation about that. I was like, in America, we don't have a national language. We don't have one. So she said, well, it's imperative for us to have one because there's like 400 languages in Nigeria. So if we don't have one that sort of ties us all together, then we don't have it. Okay. And I was like, but there's other... But the thing was that there's another movie that Chiwetel Ejiofor helped produce, and it's in the Batu language, and it was accepted by the Academy. Now I will tell you, the movie Lionheart, I watched it. It ain't Academy worthy.
Okay. So you think that's why they really kicked it back?
I mean, even if it got rejected because it didn't have the language criteria, it was the issue, but not even the quality. It just wasn't an Oscar worthy movie. I mean, and
well, don't hold back.
I'm just saying. Like, I watched it, and it wasn't it was okay to watch. It was a good Nigerian production, but was it going to be something that was going to? Did it hold up to the movie? The movie that Chiwetel Ejiofor helped produce was called "The Boy Who Farmed Wind" or something like that, and it was a biopic off of a guy who developed a way to be able to develop irrigation. I know that sound.
What's that sound?
That sound is Mel's
Medical Moment. Yes. Let's hurry up and handle this. We are going to talk about the flu vaccine. Did you get the flu vaccine?
Never. I got it one time, and I'll never get it again.
Okay. What about you, live studio audience? No? Okay, well, that's a no. Around the table, they all say...
Are you wrong for not getting it?
Well, I'm not going to say that you're wrong for not getting it. What they try to say is people who have compromised immune systems should get the flu vaccine.
Okay.
If you don't, then don't. Some people feel as though, a lot of people are mixed. 50-50. It's like, I get it and then I get the flu. What's going on? Because there are different types of strands. And when we had that H1N1, we lucked out. That was the actual strand that year, so it protected some people. Now, here's the thing. Down in, I can't even remember, Oklahoma? Oklahoma, there was a facility who was administering the flu vaccine. Not to scare you lovely people, but let me put it on out there.
Heard about this.
They were injected with insulin instead of the flu vaccine. How is that possible? How is that possible? The distributors, are you putting insulin in there instead? Because in September, there was some college students that was getting the TB skin test. Same thing. Insulin. Insulin. So I'm like, what are we doing? Are we trying to do population control? What's going on? Because let's be real. We already know even to get the flu vaccine, to me, it's a way to government to get more money. Let's be real. I'm just going to put it out there. That's just my thought. Now, if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. And if you don't even worry about it. Would you rather take your chances? That would be my question.
At my particular age, I would take my chances.
Okay.
But I think like for people who maybe of a certain age and they need to have it, maybe get it.
Oh, okay. There were and 2 employees. It was 10 residents and 2 employees that actually I wanted to give that information. Did they pass
out or something?
I don't know what actually had them. I know they got sick. Yeah, they probably, yeah.
Yeah, some people passed out.
Yeah, and they went to, that's how they ended up going, and they realized that, here we go.
Give them the wrong injection.
Wrong, and I just feel like this. I feel like it came packaged wrong. Because there's no way, no way, you're using a different size needle anyway, versus, because insulin needles, you have your, your units. So I guess you pour up insulin in anything, but I think that the packaging was wrong. They didn't really go into great detail, which they needed to, and that's why I'm thinking it was the packaging, and that's probably why they didn't say it, because everybody will be in a panic. Like, okay, what is this? And in Indianapolis is where the students were injected with insulin during the skin tests for tuberculosis. You know, the little bubble up under your the foreskin.
And that little bit caused them to have a reaction?
Well, it probably caused their blood sugar. It probably was shaking. Somebody that doesn't have diabetes.
Yeah.
So you figure your regular range is 70 to 120. So if you're at like 80 and then I give you some insulin, I can give you 1 unit, you're like, wait, what's going on? And it could kill you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, and that's a lot. That's a lot for people that aren't diabetics. I mean, it's no joke. And the company, they said, well, you know what? They actually said an excess of insulin can cause low blood sugar, resulting in sweating, nervousness, like I was saying, hunger, irritability, according to, that's Mayo Clinic. That's who actually put the statement out there. That I won't say that they were the manufacturer, because I don't have that information. And they didn't release that information either. That's why I'm thinking that it probably was the packaging, and that's how they noticed it, and not somebody just being sick, because there are sick people out there that do things that, like we talked about that one nurse that was pretty much killing the people just to bring them back to life.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? I'm like, people are really sick. It's like, this is not okay, so that he could be the hero. You got a problem, sir. You need to be validated. You definitely have a problem. Let's talk about the Q-tips real quick before we go.
What's some Q-tips?
Those Q-tips is about leaping. Remember we talked about the leaping?
Leaping?
Yes. We can't go until we talk about the topic, too. Leaping. Take the leap. If there's something that you wanted to do, make sure that you always do it. And the way to do it, here's some tips. Imagine that you are already there. Take the steps necessary to obtain it. Don't focus on your circumstances right now. Focus on the prize and the goal. Do you really want it is the question that you have to ask yourself. Believe in you, and believe that every obstacle that you may occur or may come in contact with or may experience is getting you closer to the prize.
Woo.
So that is your Q-tips, and here is the $1,000 question of the day.
What is that? Do we actually get some money?
This worth something. You gonna answer it?
Oh, answer it.
Yes. All right, here we go. Are you on the way, or are you in your own way?
Whew. Man. That's amazing.
Okay. We need something. We need the people to do something.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Look. But like, school's in, where's the bell? Today's topic, too close for comfort. What is too close in a relationship? And not just talking about a romantic relationship, a friendship.
A friendship?
Do you share ice cream?
No, with no one. Maybe a baby.
Oh, definitely not a baby.
Maybe. I mean,
that's worse.
But that's clean slobber, though. That's Jesus slobber. You can.
Oh gosh.
That's baby. You know what I mean? You can justify. Oh, it's a little baby. I ain't gonna buy him a full ice cream. I'm just gonna just let him take a bite.
Popsicles.
What's the age limit?
And you back to the age limit?
I'm not sharing that. I'm not sharing none of it. No,
why?
Because if you want something, buy it. Don't be trying to sample my stuff. Get your own.
So it doesn't even matter if it's those type things.
It could be
chicken wingdings. They gotta have their own. They gotta have their own.
Get your own. If you get an opportunity to get your wings, eat your wings. Don't eat my wing.
Be like, I don't want wings.
I order a specific
I don't want wings. I'll
wings.
just take a salad. And then I reach over to grab some of yours. Hand slap.
Smack
It's
the
over.
hand.
Should have ordered wings.
Should have ordered wings.
Bathroom. Bathroom with your mate.
No bathroom. No. There's private time. And at most times, that time should be the most private. I shouldn't have to be struggling and have to look you in the eyeballs. So I'm struggling to struggle. If there's a struggle, then I don't have to. If I gotta go in, I don't want to have to look you in the eye when I'm having that intimate moment with my own self. I'm struggling with myself, not with myself, and with you. Looking at my eyeball. I don't want to see it.
Asking questions.
Asking questions. Tell about when you going to be done. When it's out of my body. That's when I'm going to be done. When it's out of my body.
How does she know?
I don't know.
How is she supposed to? I'm not trying to go in the bathroom. I'm not trying to smell nothing. That is your private time. Not okay.
Yeah. You got to have your private time. Private time. Especially the private restroom time. You got to have it.
Okay. What you think, live studio audience? What's too close? Is that too close? Like somebody using the restroom. Let's say they do it number one. And they be like, oh, okay, I got to curl my hair.
All the ones, the twos, all of those. Let me be. Yeah. Let me have my time. My peace and my time.
Nick said that's private time.
Private time. You ain't got to be in there for all of that. You know, I don't want to have to be making a motion to the back of my body. Making a motion to the back of my body, looking somebody in the eyeball while I'm making my motion. Why would I want to do that?
Why would somebody want to watch you do that?
But I can't concentrate. I gotta make sure the white is whipped.
You're like, no, let me focus.
Yeah, nobody got time to be looking at you while I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do.
Okay, taking a bath, taking a shower.
What? I just think like this. Clean yourself. You know, there's times where you may say, hey, can you really get my back really good? Understood. You know what I mean? But, like, for the most part, no. You do your thing, and the bathroom is off limits. It's a uniperson rule. One person at a time in a household bathroom.
Just one person.
Just one person. I don't want to have to compete with you.
The other people late.
You know what I do?
Is there times? Do you have a schedule?
This is what I do.
Go ahead. Tell me. What do you do?
I tell we get ready for something. I say, hey, let's say we got to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. Let's say we wake up at 8 o'clock. It's 8:30. I'm like, you need to let's say it's 8 o'clock. We wake up to get ready at 8 o'clock. Get in there and do what you got to do. I'll come in at 9. Because at 9, you should have most of the things that you need to do done that you ain't even in there no more.
Okay, so it's a scheduled time.
It's a scheduled time for me.
And she gets to go first.
Yeah, because she take the longest time. If she took a shorter time, then she could go last. But when you take a bulk of the time, you got to go first. You got to get up earlier. Don't wake me up. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep until it's time for me to do what I got to do.
So, are you a timely person?
Yes.
So that's why she goes first.
Yes.
Okay.
You still late.
What?
What?
You still
I
late?
don't know how.
How?
I don't even know how.
Because of you?
No. And that's how you get to build in extra time. So you tell her 10 o'clock, but you got to be there at 11.
Oh, okay.
So
you make it work.
Make it work because you got to lie.
Creativity.
You got to lie sometimes.
Problem solver.
You
are a problem solver.
Hey, if you want to be there on time or around the time,
Working with your spouse at the same job.
At the same job?
Same job, same hours.
If you're in a different department, I guess it works out.
Don't get your money where you get your honey.
Well, I think the thing
what if I'm getting a bonus?
But if you come into this situation, if you work
Look at me,
place,
so what if you get a bonus? You don't want nobody to know.
Yeah, you don't want nobody to know. But if you work at a place, then you probably could pick another place to find a spouse or relationship. But if you happen to find a relationship, if you happen to have a relationship and then y'all both get hired at the place, then that's just what y'all have. Y'all got that work and y'all got that home.
So what would the conversation be at home? Work.
It should be make sure that you already on time so we can go to work and take one car.
That's too much. That's too close.
Hey,
that's
but
too
you
close.
can save a lot of dough, huh?
You could definitely save a lot of money, but that's too close for me.
Yeah. Have your own career.
Too close. I'm like, you have to have that difference. I would think that balance, that difference. What do you do? This is what I do. Totally different. Do you need to agree all the time? Yay or nay?
Plus, the person you love may not be the person that's best compatible for you to work with, even if it's a small business venture.
So you wouldn't go in the business with your spouse?
It's tough. You got to know when to fall back.
Okay. Find their strengths and say, okay, this is what you do and this is what I do, and then don't change lanes.
Got to stay out them lanes, yo.
Okay. Well, what you got to add? Why you smiling over there? Anything good?
No.
She don't have nothing good to add.
Have a great day.
Just have a great day?
Listen, every day is a good day when you got it.
Now, that's the truth. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about this electric slide, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like, we got to find an electric slide so that y'all can know that they're talking about a vibrator.
And the other thing I would say is everybody voted this week, make your vote count by pestering the person you voted for. Make sure they going to stand up to the pledges they made to get in office. All in 2020 be up in their face. When you going to do this? When is it going to happen?
Now, who promised something here?
If you in office, you promise.
You promise to be.
You promised a better tomorrow. You know what I mean? For the whatever. So be up in their face. Demand that they do what they say they're gonna do.
Okay, I hope so.
And some of that, this is the basic demand is just for them to do what's best for the community.
Now that's
not
there
what's
you
best
go.
For special interest.
And I hope everybody voted, but clearly they didn't because what was it, 8,000?
For Mahoney County, there was 26%. 26.9%.
26%
of
got out and
registered
voted.
Voters voted in Mahoney County.
People were exhausted.
Exhausted with what? Not voting. I need you guys to vote.
But they're exhausted. They're exhausted. They're overwhelmed with it. Just like he said, now be in their face. So it's like, I still can't just relax and live life and work my job and take care of my family.
Well, you know what? You will be able to do that if they do their job. And then you don't have to, those stresses to worry about it. But please vote. It was a time we couldn't vote.
I'm not saying not vote. I'm just saying why it was so low. 26%. People were exhausted.
Yeah, but people, showing up on election day is one thing. If you're not going to show up, at least do absentee ballot. You can do that.
I am exercising my right to vote because we could not vote. So I'm definitely going to make sure.
Some people told me that they didn't vote because they didn't know any of the people.
So, okay. So that's why they.
Well,
okay.
but that's kind of like
They didn't try to know him?
I don't know.
Do the research. I'm going to vote.
But the thing is like, you may not know the person. You may not, okay. If you don't know the person, you can at least find a way to learn, to know about the leadership that's in place at that institution now.
Yeah, you got to do the research.
And so even if, so the thing is like, hey, there's always an incumbent. So why should I vote for the incumbent? Even if I don't know the person that's running against them, I still have the opportunity to know about the system that elected official is over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the electric slide. I'm putting it on. Thank you, lovely people, for tuning in to Shop Talk with Mel Catchers every single Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Find you, embrace you, most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop Talk right here on Spreaker.com.
She's a jigger feeling.